I got this full netherite beacon in only 4 hours in my complete survival world. And if you want to know how I did it and if you want to do it yourself, then you should watch this video. This video took a lot of effort, so every kind of support is definitely highly appreciated. So please subscribe, and also you can leave your questions in the comments down below. Let's start. Well, the first step for my whole netherite beacon will be to get the beacon itself. And the first step to get a beacon is to kill some wither skeletons in order to get some wither skeleton skulls, with which I can summon a wither, which will give me the nether star, and then I get the beacon. Well, here I am at the fortress, and I'm now going to be killing some of these wither skeletons in order to obtain the wither skeleton skulls. I have a looting 3 sword prepared, and I recommend using a bow for all the blazes that will shoot you. Of course, you could do this with a wither skeleton farm, but I'm too lazy to build one, so I do it manually. In case you want to build such a farm, I'll have one in the description. It is one of my own designs. There's the first one. Also, try setting your game difficulty to peaceful, and then back to your default difficulty. Oh, there's the second one. As you can see, now I got even 2 more, so 4, and our first step is complete. We're gonna spawn the wither and craft the beacon later in the end. And now after I got myself some bread from this field, I can continue with the second step. But I don't mean farming ancient debris for months. No, I probably go for about 1 block of netherite, which is 36-ish ancient debris, I think. Or is it pronounced debris? I don't know. And as you can see right now, for this step, I'll go to Y10 or something like this, and in my inventory I got myself some beds and some more shulker chests with beds. I don't have a good gunpowder farm, so I use beds instead of TNT. I mean, with the method I show you later, we don't need that much TNT. As mentioned, I go for 1 netherite block totally, so this isn't something where you need much resources for. So let's see how long it does take me to get the 36 ancient debris. That's the first one. Nothing right there. Let's see the next one. And we got nothing there. I think now I will do something like a time lapse, so I'm gonna be back in some minutes. Oh, as you can see, 2 sources just with 1 bed. That's a good rate. Well, there aren't that much tips about finding this ancient debris. Just make sure that you always mine the area around your found veins, so that you make sure that you don't leave anything behind. And of course, if you want to be quicker and have the resources, you can do this with a TNT right as well. 1 more right here, and let's see if there is anything around. Ah, as you can see, I just found 1 more around, but I think, yeah, that's all. Well, now I'm doing this for about 5 minutes, and I already got 8 ancient debris. I think that's a pretty good rate. When you do this yourself, you can calculate with about 1 ancient debris every minute. Also, I take some gold with me, because we'll need it to craft the netherite later. Time for the next charger box. Luckily we have Fortune 3 on our pickaxe. This will give us way more gold than normal. I think now that's all the gold we will need. Let's see if it's enough. Yeah, we'll need 36 gold ingots, and we have 38. Look at this, 4 ancient debris in just 1 vein. So I wanted to place another bed, and I found an ancient debris, and as you can see, this was the last that was missing. Well, this wasn't a good idea, but however, I got all the ancient debris or netherite that I needed for a netherite beacon in only 30 minutes. Because with the method that I'm going to be showing you now, we'll get our full netherite beacon out of only 1 netherite block. But first, of course, I gotta craft the netherite itself, and for this I have to smelt the ancient debris. And now I'm gonna craft the netherite. 9 full pieces, and this can be crafted into the block of netherite. Here it is. So let's get into the end to kill the wither and to show you the method, shall we? Here we are. So let's spawn the wither, right? If you don't know how to do it with the safest method using the end portal, then a video is linked in the description. But to keep it short, I just find out which is the west direction. This is the west direction. Then I dig down under the portal right there. Now I want to dig out a 3x5x5 hole. Of course, to make everything even more safe, set the difficulty to easy. Then you want to place 3 obsidian blocks right at your entrance. The last one should be under the middle of the end portal. Now what you want to do is to dig out 2 blocks right here and 2 blocks right there too. Then place 1 soul sand at the last bedrock block and place 3 more in front like that. And now you just want to place your 3 wither skeleton skulls in front, and this looks like this. Now the wither, as you can see, is trapped in the bedrock, and you can now just let him suffocate. And now the wither is dead, and we can collect our nether star, place down the crafting table, and I got some glass and obsidian prepared, and we can now craft ourselves the beacon. Now that this step with the beacon is done, we can now start getting all our netherite blocks out of this one block. Well, how to do this is very simple. I prepared some blocks of endstone or any other kind of block, and of course the block of netherite and 1 water bucket. Now, what you want to do is to get to Y1 using this water bucket. You want to let down the water, and then you want to jump right in, and then continuously place blocks at the side of the water and make sure that you don't fall in the void. I recommend making a copy of your word right now, or use water and lava so that this column out of blocks is created automatically. Also, an elytra can be helpful right here because you can fly out of the void if you get into it. Now at the last blocks you really want to make sure that you don't fall into the void, but you want to continue your column down to Y1. As you can see now, I'm only at Y2, so let's do this one more time. There's the last block, and now I can place 1 block where I can stand on, and then just continue out the blocks until I get rid of all the water. I got some more stacks in my inventory, and as you can see, we are all the way down to Y1. Now the next thing I have to do before I can do the method and get all my netherite blocks for the beacon is to move forwards and backwards and see which coordinate changes. In this case it is the first coordinate, so the X coordinate. And now you want to get this coordinate to a number which can be divided by 16. And this, in this case, would be 128. And of course, with your blocks, you want to move outwards into the void and not under the end island. Why we do this is very simple. Chunks have the size of 16 by 16. So by doing this method, we make sure that we now are on a chunk border. And now we can place our indicator block. And this is the block where the chunk border actually is. The chunk border is between this and that block. And you want to use this for this glitch. Now create either a platform or just a way out of blocks. I do this with 5 blocks. You should not do this with more than 16 blocks in one direction so that you're in one chunk. And then you want to place the blocks that you want to duplicate on top. In this case, my netherite block. You can do this either at the end or in the middle. You just want to make sure that you're further out than this indicator block. And then you want to either fly or swim back to the end portal. Now jump right through. Now you're back at your spawn point. So to do this quicker, I recommend placing your spawn point, so your bed, right at the stronghold end portal. Now at your stronghold at the end portal, you want to place down your bed and click on it once, so that your respawn point is set. You don't even have to sleep in it in order to get the respawn point. Then you want to go back into the end. Now you can decide whether you want to fly with your elytra or just use the water stream. I use my elytra because I have one, but you can also do this in early game using either a water stream like this or some leathers or something else you come up with. Now the next thing in order to duplicate our items is to destroy this netherite block and make sure to collect it. You can place some blocks around if you want to, and then break all the bridge blocks, and you want to break the indicator block too. And now if you want to make sure that everything duplicates properly, you can destroy some more bridge blocks if you want to do this too. Then get back to your end portal, then you want to go right through. Now as you can see, I still have the block of netherite in my hotbar because I broke and collected it in the end. So now I go back in the end and see if it duplicated. If it duplicated, then the block of netherite should be with the platform in the end, and as you can see, this is the case. We got our block of netherite together with the bridge and the indicator block, and we can now obtain this again. And now as you can see, I have 2 blocks of netherite. Now you can repeat this. If it didn't work first try, then you want to set this up again, and then you want to be quicker. For me, it always works when I perform it in under 1 minute, which means that the duration it takes from breaking to getting back into the overworld takes only 1 minute. Here are 3 good tips to consider when doing this. I recommend using a indicator block that can be mined with a pickaxe too. As you can see here, I have the endstone bricks as an indicator block, and I have the normal endstone as the normal bridge. Second, use a button to get rid of all the water on your bridge. And third, as you can see now, I'm at Y10. You don't have to do this all the way down to Y1. So if you don't want to risk falling into the void, you can do this at higher positions up to Y16. Everything that is above Y16 won't duplicate at all. This is very important. The reason for this is the first subchunk. A subchunk has the size 16 by 16 by 16. So this will only work at the lowest subchunk, which is from Y0 to Y16. And now let's see if it worked again. Again, we have the block of netherite together with our platform or way. I collect this, and now I have 3 blocks of netherite. Now this isn't a fast method to do this, so I can now go around and place 1, 2, 3 blocks of netherite and duplicate all the 3 this time. Of course, now I have to go back to the overworld to reset it once, and then I can destroy all the blocks again and perform it. This method is completely lossless, because as you saw, we collect all the items before performing the duplication glitch, and it is totally without exiting the game. Now if you think of this as cheating, you don't have to do it yourself, but I think it's a pretty good method to get rare resources. And actually, you could extend this platform even more. Let's place all our 6 blocks of netherite on top of this platform this time. I'd recommend not to exaggerate it, because it will always take you some time to break all the blocks, and the longer it takes, the higher the chance is that you don't duplicate it. Also, sadly, shulker boxes and chests won't work with this. You can duplicate the chest and shulker box itself, but not the content. Let's see how long it does take me to get all my 164 blocks. And repeat the whole thing. Also, if you want to save time while doing this, preferably you want to build your platform and perform the glitch where your spawning obsidian platform of the end is too. As you can see, this time it took too long to break all the blocks, so I only duplicated 3 of the 6 netherite blocks. And guys, I did it. Now I have exactly 2 stacks and 36 blocks of netherite, which is exactly the amount we need for our full netherite beacon. I decided to place it somewhere in this castle. Maybe I'll move it around at any time, but for now this is a good position. So let's start. First 2 platforms complete and 34 blocks left to place. And here it is, our full netherite beacon. We just have to take out our beacon and place it at the top of the pyramid. And as you can see, I got even one more netherite ingot to power this beacon. I'll go for haste 2. And as you can see, everything is done. This is a very good method to get your full netherite beacon, and definitely better and more efficient than mining all the ancient debris yourself. If this helped you, then please consider subscribing. This would help me very much. This video took a long time and a lot of effort. If you have some questions, you can leave them down in the comment section. I'll answer them every time. Then I hope we'll see us again in the next video. See ya!